If you've ever wondered how one moment can flip your whole world upside down, let me tell you about the day I learned the hardest lesson of my life, right inside my own electronics shop, Brown's Tech Haven, little place in Milford I built from scratch. I always thought I was one of the good guys. I helped old folks with their gadgets, greeted every customer with a smile. Never once did I picture myself as the villain in somebody else's story. But you know what? Sometimes you don't see your own blind spots until it's too late. That Monday, everything started out just like any other day. Sun pouring through the front window, the scent of fresh electronics in the air, me humming as I unlocked the register and made small talk with regulars, folks like Mrs. Gillis, who showed off pictures of her grandkids on her new tablet, just glowing with joy. That's the kind of thing that makes you proud to run a shop like this, you know? But ever since we had a kid try to steal a smartwatch a week back, I'd been on edge. Hearing my buddy Bill's warnings about thieves, remembering my dad saying, "Don't let your guard down, Lenny." I was trying to be extra careful, maybe too careful for my own good. Around 11, the bell over the door chimed and in walked this young black man, tall, confident, sharp dresser. He looked like he had his life together, but I'll admit, right then, all my old suspicions, everything I'd ever heard from the news or guys at poker, bubbled up. I hated that about myself, but I was on high alert. He gave me a nod, flashed a polite smile. "Just browsing, thanks. You've got a real nice shop." I tried to act normal but found myself watching him out the corner of my eye, following his every move as he drifted from phones to smartwatches to laptops. Part of me wanted to believe he was just another customer, but I kept thinking, what if? It came to a head when he picked up a sleek black smartwatch and asked, "Do you have this in any other color?" I said, "Let me check in the back," and as I turned, I swear I saw him slip his hand in his pocket. My heart was pounding. I didn't know if I'd seen anything at all, but it didn't matter. All those old stories in my head took over. I grabbed the phone and called the cops. "Yeah, I think I got a shoplifter. Black male, late 20s, gray shirt, might have taken something." The police came fast, Jenkins and a new partner, Ramirez. I pulled them aside, pointed the guy out. They went over and, in front of everybody, started asking him questions, told him to empty his pockets. The whole shop went quiet. He looked shocked, hurt even, but he did as they asked. I waited for them to find something, thinking, here we go. I was right. But all they found were his own things. Wallet, phone, nothing from my store. Jenkins asked to speak to me in the back. I expected a pat on the back, maybe a good call. Instead, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Mr. Brown, you know who that is. He's Marcus Jackson, undercover with the Federal Anti-Discrimination Agency. We've had complaints about your store. He's not a thief. He's here to see if you treat everyone fairly." My stomach dropped. I must have gone pale. I tried to argue. I thought I saw, but Jenkins shook his head. "You saw what you wanted to see." Then Marcus came in, his voice calm, but you could feel the hurt. "You watched me from the moment I came in. I asked about products. You were short. And then you called the police for no reason but how I look." There was no yelling, just this heavy disappointment in his tone that cut deeper than if he'd screamed. Jenkins asked, "Would you have done this if he was white?" All I could do was stare at the floor. I thought about how I'd joked with Mrs. Gillis earlier, how I'd laughed with the young couple buying a TV, but with Marcus, I'd been cold, suspicious, just like all those folks I used to shake my head at on the news. It was like looking in a mirror and not liking what you see. That day blew up fast. Local news, social media, my name and face everywhere. Racist store owner in Milford. Folks were angry. My daughter called, her voice barely steady. "Dad, tell me it's not true." I didn't have a good answer. The next day at the shop, nobody said a word. Jenny, my assistant, told me, "Dr. Foster's here for your anti-bias training." Dr. Foster, a no-nonsense woman who'd seen it all, didn't let me off easy. This isn't about punishment, it's about understanding. She put me through the ringer. Real stories, statistics, hard questions that made me sweat. I'd never had to see things through someone else's eyes like that before, and man, it was rough. After the session, Jenny came up, fidgeting. "Mr. Brown, I have some ideas, ways we could make the store friendlier, if you want to hear them." For once I said, "Yeah, I'm listening." We started changing things, new policies, real training for everybody, more honest conversations. It wasn't about saving face anymore. It was about actually doing better. A few weeks later, Marcus came back in. I almost froze, but he walked up and said, "Heard you've been making changes." I nodded, heart thumping. "Trying my best. I know I was wrong. I want to do better." He looked me up and down, then gave this small nod. "That's all you can do, Mr. Brown. Keep trying." Now, not everyone's forgiven me. Some regulars never came back. The place is quieter, and every time that bell rings, I wonder what folks are thinking. But, I'd rather be someone who tries to get it right, even after getting it wrong, than someone who pretends nothing ever happened. Sometimes life slaps you in the face so hard you finally wake up. So, let me ask you, do you think people can really change after a screw-up like mine? Or is one mistake all it takes to lose trust for good? I want to hear what you think, what you've lived through. Drop your stories in the comments. Let's talk about it, for real.